So, Pokemon Sun and Moon just came out, and we've been playing it.
I wonder if the rival is just as awesome as Barry.
And here we go. Here we go. It all goes downhill from here.
Barry's cool.
No, he is not.
Barry's cool.
Hello, and welcome to another Pixel Talk. Thank you for coming by to chat with us once again.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about Pokemon because they just came out, and we each bought our own version of the game.
Oh yeah, I got Sun.
And I got Moon.
We should introduce ourselves to any new viewers. We're Luke and Jake.
Yep, my name is Jake. He's the one who's called Luke over there.
Yeah.
And, we have been very excited about the new Pokemon game, and today we're just going to be chatting about it. I know last week we were talking about what we liked about previous generations and stuff. This week it's all about what we think so far of the new games. It's just our first impressions. Neither of us are too far.
Yeah, we both gotten about maybe 3 or 4 hours so far into the game.
I know you have how many badges do you have?
I think I have I got two.
I have
so
two.
far.
I have two.
No, I have three.
Okay, yeah. So the way this thing works, first of all, the newest thing that I noticed is that there's no gym challenges this time. And that was like, whoa, like they haven't mentioned gyms at all. I thought like, okay, maybe it's just like slow to start and they'll start it at some point, but they didn't even mention gyms at all. And then they're talking about the island challenge. I'm like, whoa, what's that?
Yeah, it's kind of like if you remember in the anime, the Orange Islands, where they weren't really gym battles, they were more so like challenges.
Yeah.
This is kind of what it's like. They're kind of like these own mini dungeons where at the end you have to face this like super powered Pokemon.
They were really cool too because here, like, the first one that you go to is a legit dungeon that you have to explore and, like, solve puzzles for. And not like, hard puzzles. It was, like, a rat-a-tat puzzle for me. Or I guess for you it was a,
It was a Donald Trump Pokemon.
Yeah, the Donald Trump Pokemon.
That's an easy jab. Everybody's saying, oh, he looks like Donald Trump. But he really does. I'm pretty sure that was intentional.
Maybe. But regardless, I don't know the Trump's actual... I mean, I don't know the Pokemon's actual name. But for me, since I have Pokemon Moon, he has Sun, I have the Rattata. And I got the Alolan Rattata, and that was my boss. And it was fun, but it was just sort of like this weird puzzle where you're going through, and you'd have to like examine one, and then it would pop out on the other side. Was that the same case for you?
Yeah, it was like that, except it was with the young goose.
Yeah, the young goose, that's the name of it. Yeah, okay. And then,
a water break at the same time.
Yeah, we took a water break at the same time.
That kind of leads to an awkward silence.
It wasn't that awkward.
It's like...
So, yeah, Talk about overplaying much. Team Skull, by the way.
I love Team Skull.
Speaking of overplaying,
I love Team Skull.
Yeah, they're kind of annoying. I mean, they're okay. They're better than Team Flare because they're entertaining.
No, I think they're so refreshing because ever since Madman Aqua, every single team has just been kind of like, oh, we're going to use this Pokemon to take over the world.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to use this Pokemon to take over the world.
Team Rocket didn't really do that.
Yeah, they were just the mob who just went around stealing Pokemon.
But people actually took Team Rocket seriously back in the day.
They take each one of these teams seriously, and it's actually kind of refreshing to have a team that is just nobody takes seriously at all.
So all these NPCs that you deal with as you're dealing with what is it, Team Skull? Yeah. They're just like, oh, just ignore that dude. He's not even that important. Just let's focus on this first. And then the Team Skull dude is like, no, I'm important. And then he's like starts talking all a bunch of millennial gangsta speech. So
yeah, I just love their like hand motions. Just imagine if somebody went up to you and you're just having a conversation with them and they were just like.
Yeah, it's weird. But compare that Team Skull to Team Galactic from like Gen 5.
Yeah, they wanted to control like all of time and space.
Team Galactic was taken extremely seriously. They froze a city. Like they actually took
full-on terrorism.
Yeah, they took a whole city and they froze it, and everybody. I don't know. Do you know if they froze the people too? I don't remember.
I don't remember right off the top of my head.
Because that was in Black 2 and White 2 that they did that. And it was really terrifying. It's like, okay, that team we could take seriously. And then Team Flare happened. And Team Flare...
They didn't have it. They were just so forgettable.
They were red.
They were red and wanted to take over the world.
And something about Pokeballs. And
something like that.
Yeah, something about like Flabébé.
The Pokemon World was actually a really genuinely interesting piece of story. Mm-hmm. But what I'm trying to get at here is with the new team, and with the Island Challenge instead of gym leaders, right off the bat, this game is already sort of breaking the mold of Pokemon games as we know them.
So far, from what I know, there hasn't been a bike yet. Like, we don't know if there's going to be a bike.
They got rid of HMs.
There's no HMs. Oh, you ride on Pokemon now to, like, break rocks. There's no... Yeah, so instead of, like, using Rock Smash, you get your Tauros, and then... And it's not a Tauros that you can even summon. It's just, like, a Tauros.
Yeah, just, like, a lot of... There's, like, a lot of, like, little things to make things more convenient. I'm sure, like... Correct me if I'm wrong, was there, like, a world map you can, like, track your, like, where you are in the previous games? Like...
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah, it's the town map.
Yeah, but you have to, like, go to the town map.
Yeah, you could set it as, like, a shortcut. Like, you can set it to Y.
But here you can actually see where you are.
Yeah, it works like a mini-map, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And that's a first. The whole idea of the Rotom Pokedex was kind of cool.
Yeah, now you have, like, a little...
it's like you have a Navi with you.
You have, like, a Navi-like companion talking to you.
And I like it, because the Rotom is pretty sassy. And, what else?
He called you a naughty boy.
He called me a naughty boy. That Rotom called me a naughty boy.
What were you doing?
I don't remember actually. I think it was because I was in the Pokemon trainer school and I got called up to the office after I had killed beaten all the Pokemon trainers there.
Oh, you naughty boy.
And the Rotom was like, "Oh, you got called to the principal's office, you naughty boy." And I was like, "Okay, Rotom Pokedex. All right, we're just gonna continue the story." But yeah, it's been pretty fun. The new rival was really cool, in my opinion.
Like, I didn't think I would like him at first because he kind of, from what I saw from the trailers, he embodied what I don't like about the new Pokemon. Was like, oh, it doesn't matter if you win or lose as long as you have fun.
Yeah, I know.
But he's just so happy and upbeat that I just looked at his dumb freaking grinning face. I'm like, I can't possibly hate you.
Yeah,
it's you're like hard to love, but you're even harder to hate.
It's like the same thing with Saray.
A little bit,
yeah.
He's having fun. You can't, don't be like shitting in his scrambled eggs. He's having a good time.
He's having a great time. And so he's cool. I think his name is Hao.
Yeah, and let's see who else. Professor Kukui, he's a fun guy.
Yeah. Okay, the name Professor Kukui, I assume that's a tree, because all professors are trees. But it reminds me in Skyward Sword, the little Kikwis that you would go around and help.
Yeah.
Okay,
and is it just me? Or is this like... Are the professors kind of like going in a Doctor Who thing where each and every single, as the generations go along, the professors get younger and hotter?
I guess so, yeah.
Because, like, you started with Professor Oak, this, like, old crusty old man, then you have Professor Elm, who's, like, this, like, kind of middle-aged
He was a middle-aged dude, and then Professor Birch. And then we had, who's the Gen 4 professor?
Rowan.
Professor Rowan, he was old.
He was an old guy.
He was an old guy.
And then you have, Professor...
The woman one.
I forget her name.
What was her name?
Yeah,
and then Gen 6, you had Professor Sycamore. Yeah.
He's a young, good-looking dude. And then you have, Kukui, he's got a six-pack, he's got his, like, open lab coat. So
he's not even wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I can picture the Gen 5 professor clearly in my head. I just cannot recall her name for the life of me.
Yeah, we'll put it in text here.
Yeah. Let's see, what else did I want to cover on that was like totally new?
There's the Z moves.
The Z moves, yeah. They got rid of Mega Evolutions. I mean, I think
more on that later. I want to go on kind of on my main gripes with this, but right now, Z moves.
Z moves, they're kind of cool. So like to do your Z move, you have to be in a pose. Like you strike a fancy pose like this.
Or like if you're doing a water move, you gotta do like a little wavy.
Yeah, like motion. A little wavy thing. So it's cool, and it's very Alolan, and I like it.
It's very handy if like you're in a pinch and you really need to like.
It's kind of like a Pokemon Limit Break.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of cool. And then Mega Evolutions are gone. Which
that really leads into like one of my main gripes with the series is like they introduce a really cool feature in a generation, and then the next generation
they abolish it.
Instead of like improving on it, like and like adapting it, they just sort of take it out.
Yeah.
Like one thing I really liked in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire was the Det Snap, because not only was it great for shiny hunting, it was a great way to fill up your Pokédex. It's kind of like a
you could like see it's like a checklist in a way.
So like you go into a route and you see like, oh, I still have some things to catch in this area, and I caught all the things in this area, nothing more to find here.
Yeah.
And they just took that out.
I guess
They took out horror battles.
It's kind of a shame how much they've taken out, But I would say that...
They took out super training.
But I would say that I don't mind, because all the other stuff that was in previous games that was nice, I can still live without, because it's not what defines Pokemon.
It's not what defines Pokemon, but they were like really handy features.
It's
and they
kind of
really
like
replace it with something else.
Right, I know they didn't replace it with anything. That's the problem. But at the same time, I'm okay with there not being Mega Evolution because Z-moves did replace it. So that's the main difference. But Mega Evolution, I feel like, is sort of specific to Gen 6 in the sense that that's supposed to be happening in its own universe, right? Like Gen 6, like Hoenn there, and
it does have its own culture.
It has its own culture, but also like the whole point of the Hoenn post-game story was like how there were like two realities, and one was the non-Mega Evolution world, and the other was the Mega Evolution world, right?
Yeah, but in this game you can still use Mega Evolutions. There's just no new ones.
Oh, you can? How?
Yeah, it was in a trailer. I haven't come across it yet, but it was like relive Mega Evolutions.
Oh, okay.
So you can use Mega Evolutions, but there's not any new ones.
All right, well that's interesting. I know, didn't they ban them for competitive now though?
Yeah, you cannot use Mega Evolutions in competitive tournaments. I saw the rule list.
Yeah.
What else did I want to talk about? As you take your water break.
My water break is important too.
Anyways, they did add hyper training, which is like EV training, but with IVs.
Not in the new game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they added hyper training.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they just took out super training, which is for hyper training is for IVs and super training is for EVs.
Oh, okay. I thought that for some reason I thought the Pokemon Me thing was for IVs.
No, that's just for that's just its own.
Okay, I don't know. I'm not big into this EV-IV thing. I just race Pokemon, and if they die,
but the point is that I really like super training because even though the mini games are tedious, EV training is a bit more tedious because you have to like grind the same Pokemon over and over again to get those effort values in.
Mm-hmm, that's true. Anyway, I know that we're only 2 badges in right now, and I assume there's 8, unless there's less than that for some reason because it's a different format. There's no gyms anymore. You know, I guess nobody from Team Valor is in the Alola region.
Yeah, and also I want to talk about what have been your favorite Pokemon to catch so far?
What?
What have been your favorite Pokemon to catch so far?
I haven't ran into any of my favorites yet, except for Growlithe. I like Growlithe. So.
Like any of the new Pokemon you've been? You started with Rowlet, right?
With Rowlet, yeah.
Yeah, I started with Popplio. I'm all about that Team Popplio.
I like the owl. He's cool. He's really cool. I like the final evolution of the owl. And I like all the Pokemon I've seen. It's just none are my absolute top 6 favorites yet. So until I see, you know, like a Dano in the wild, then I'll be like, all right, I'm getting this Pokemon right now.
So any new Pokemon you've come across that you've like, oh, I'll catch that?
Yeah, there was like this crab one that seemed kind of cool. I don't know the names of any of them though. So it's
you're
like,
so getting to know them.
I'm like, that one. Yeah, okay. So yeah, but you know, like I said, we're only 2 badges in, so. Obviously, we haven't experienced the whole game, and there's still a lot more for us to know, and we probably got some information wrong because there could be features that come into the game later that we just don't know
this isn't
about.
A full-on evaluation. This is just a quick look, first impressions.
This is not a review. This is just a talk about it because we're really excited. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like post what you think about Sun and Moon if you're playing it. I hope you're playing it. It's really fun. I hope you're playing Moon because Moon is awesome and better than Sun.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, our Twitters are right there and right there, by the way. Sorry. And then I think that covers it, right? Are we good?
Yeah, that about covers it.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching.
So welcome, guys, to another Last Week recap. We're starting that back up again. You know, it's kind of a situational thing. If we see a comment that we like, we'll talk about it in the next episode. So last week, we were just giving our, like, thoughts on previous Pokemon games.
And we had a really interesting comment from our buddy Zainarith.
And that's spelled with an S and said with a Z.
And his main thing, he was talking about how he really, really enjoys the new modes and story that Pokemon's been putting out in the later generations, but he's not a fan of the Pokemon designs.
Yeah, he says they're, you know, they kind of run out of ideas, and I thought, you know, that's worthy of talking about because the designs can be, in every generation, are sort of like hit and miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were some I didn't like in Gen 6 and Gen 5 and Gen 4, but none I didn't like in Gen 3.
They were all perfect.
Oh, I love Gen 3 so much. But anyway, getting back on that topic, yeah, I feel like Gen 5 sometimes has the occasional like weird, like the Trubbish Pokemon.
I mean, you have the Trubbish, you have the ice cream cone, you know, in every game. Mm-hmm. You have like the key Pokemon in Gen 6.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's an interesting thing. I hope that so far the new Gen 6 Pokemon look decent. Not Gen 3 amazing levels in my opinion, but they look decent. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. I know it was data mined. I just specifically didn't look at all the new Pokemon because I didn't want to know.
And as far as liking the story over, the Pokemon designs, I can see where that's coming from too.
Yeah.
And thankfully in Sun and Moon,
the story seems really good so far.
It's seeming really good. It's adding like those more cinematic cutscenes because they can do that now.
That's cool. I like it a lot. Anyway, thank you for the comments, Anarth. If you want to leave a comment, you always can in the comments, and we'll definitely talk about it if it really, really sparks our interest. So yeah, thank you.
So see you next time.
Later.